Oh, what did she say? She said, "Wow."
Yeah, and I said, sorry, and I'm late. I gotta hurry. Oh!
Oh, that's too good.
She wanted to start a conversation.
Wow.
So all this laughing is now on the...
Of course.
No secrets here. And it'll be on YouTube tomorrow.
The only thing we have to do is remember to turn off these things when the committees go into their deliberation.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, we all watch Pi when he leaves the little electronic...
Make sure everything is shut off when Pi.
So this is going this way. Where should I sit?
There's good. Please present
That's a
the
good one.
There.
If it isn't this recording?
Record. There's one there, and there's a camera here, so they're both recording.
But I mean, if I put my head in here, you get my nose?
Yes. But he has another camera here as well. So.
Oh, so you're getting a binocular vision?
I know. I don't know. He's gonna do a holographic image at the end of this.
So.
All right. Ready to continue?
Yep. How many slides total?
37.
37's a lot for 45 minutes.
I know it is. Yeah.
Yeah. You should.
So I may have to cut back.
Yeah, you should limit more than about 20.
Yeah.
So 45 minutes is just for the presentation or including discussion?
No, just for the
Just for
presentation.
Yeah.
Your part should time to 45
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
Okay.
Nobody stopped me.
nobody stopped?
Yeah, if nobody stopped me.
I mean, allowing
an
for
hour
interruptions maybe an hour.
Yeah, with some limited.
But the thing, what happens, what I've seen happen several times, is that it starts dragging on and people get impatient to get to their discussion, so they start interrupting more and more,
Right.
and then it never finishes.
Right.
And that's not good.
That's what happened in Sylvia's XP defense.
Right,
It sort of
right.
dragging on.
Yeah, so any parts of this I can cut back. I mean, if you see something that looks like too much, but I'll take another look at that. Try to cut it.
Actually, even that first part.
Mhm. Is that, see, I mean, I know some of it, like, everybody's seen that, but.
When you gave your outline, I was tempted to suggest that you do it backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Start with the contribution. I mean, that's kind of how I have mine laid out. I start with the contribution.
Yeah. But the rest of it wouldn't make sense. I mean, I'm going to start discussing results.
You know, I'm just saying, think of the, the newspaper article model where you start with the headline.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I structured mine to begin with the contribution.
That's true, maybe I should.
Mm-hmm.
Either a contribution or like a summary, just a.
Something that's
one thing
something
says
that's
the
immediately,
headline, like,
something that immediately takes attention.
At least have the abstracts, sort of like the one slide of,
Kind of an app.
this is the,
Here's what's coming.
this is the bottom line result.
Right.
Okay, and then, so put the punchline
First.
right up first.
Yeah, that's something we even learned in Moscow.
I know, you learn it and
you forget it. Yeah.
okay, good.
Start with the punchline.
Okay.
You were on 9 when I came in.
Yeah. And now, I'm trying to do this.
You have a side, which was very interesting, and your example was Wikipedia. And I'm hoping to see that in the future, the open source method. This can go in the future directions.
That's in the future. That's in the future. But my question is, do I just address this to the committee, or do I give some background that maybe is more generally, like, everybody's seen this, so I need to show that again.
You just show it as a quick reminder.
But not dwell on that, that's right.
15 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, the speed I was going through these is probably about how I would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
Yeah,
dwelling on
'cause-
this front end part.
Now, so I've seen your talk like 10 times, but the committee's only seen your talk like once or twice.
Right.
So they may need a little bit more refreshing.
Okay, so hopefully I've got enough of that in here, but, okay, so we went through the open source, touched on the open source method. Some think it's, related to Wikipedia. The mysteries, the research objective. Okay, so here's where we stop. So the overall model, then the scope of the research is looking at the relationship between these social network structural constructs, and specifically they are closure, bridging, and leader centrality. And I'll discuss those shortly about what those actually mean. The community success constructs, well, really it is the construct, but there's two dimensions of it, one being activity, one being output. I think I already mentioned those. But the bidirectional arrows there indicate that we really model these as kind of having a reciprocal relationship, that output leads to activity and activity leads to output. So we don't really differentiate between the two in specific hypotheses, but we do recognize they are different dimensions, and we measure them separately and we test them separately. Within the scope of research, we also recognize there are mediating factors which we attempt to control for as much as possible, such as the size of the group, the environment, task structure. I have to fill in a little bit of the detail there, but basically the type of software, for example, these are all possible mediating factors that we do attempt to control for. But then, basically, what's not within the scope of the research is what we can call the community impact. So that would be the extent to which the result of the community impacts some broader, the broader environment. So, for example, in the case of the Linux community, certainly there's been output and activity, but Linux is now an industry standard in many areas. It's been adopted by corporations and so forth. So these are impacts that go beyond just the focus of the project community itself. And those are outside of the scope. We really don't have access to that kind of information. And as you'll see as we get into it, we're really studying open source project communities in a fairly early stage for a couple of reasons that we'll get into. But basically, again, community impact is not within the scope of the research. And we do recognize that market factors certainly impact community research, community impact. Yeah.
Sorry, wasn't Catherine going to join us?
Yes, she's joining later. She's got class till 2:30. I'm looking for a red laser pointer. I don't find mine, but you should have one.
I'll bring it up. Yeah.
You all should have one as part of your toolkit.
Yeah, okay,
Of course,
so
I can't find mine.
so we came up.
Do as I say, not as I do.
You're right.
And then don't give it away.
Yeah,
Never loan it out.
Yes, there are many PhD students. Probably yes. So then, using that conceptual model, we came up with a set of 6 propositions, which relate community social network structure to community success. And again, these propositions are based.
Abstracted from, you'll come back from. This is kind of the detailed version.
Well, okay, all right. Here's
And the abstract version,
there. Even though it's kind of messy, but this is the.
you could sort of make this into a smiley picture.
Our propositions are kind of
Closure unfriendly.
We're not sure of the leaders centrality, what our leaders. So, yeah, maybe something like this. I mean, it's like so see, this was leading towards a summary that just tried to make sense of those individual results.
But you see now, if you sort of present this at the beginning,
Right.
and then you say, and then I'm going to explain
I'm
what all
gonna
this
show you
is.
what all this is.
This is sort of the summary of the
Right,
findings,
right, excellent.
and a summary of what they mean. Get that in there too.
A summary of what they mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?